Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for joining us this evening on the Live with Lloyd family, as I call it. Before I talk about the topic of today, I want to let you know that Live with Lloyd is brought to you by the following sponsors, such as U-Juice. It is the most beautiful Caribbean tropical juice you can have. And to order the product, you go to Levitt Store, LIVETSTORE.com. That's levittstore.com and order your products. I order the one that's on the left. That's my passion. That's the one I love. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn, out at 1396 Fulton Street, over 50 years of being in business. They are the best with Sister Monique and Sister Capunia. They are having some events coming up this Saturday and then next week as well. I'll be talking about that. Also, Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. And to this podcast, you can do Manifest on Purpose or go to KIMBALEY, as her name says under her image, _ and you can see the shows. I will talk more about that. Also, our sponsor too is Numerology with Queen Bee, and I'll be talking about some of the features she will be having as well. There's some offerings that will actually is over this Sunday, so it's very, very important that when I bring it up that you take full advantage. Also, Jazz Aphrodite is knocking from the inside. It's available on audio, and also it's for purchase. You go to jazzaphrodite.com and order the book. Now, before I start, let me do the forecast for today. It is Wednesday. I believe I got everything correct. Okay. It is Wednesday, April 16th of the year 2025. The sun is in Aries. That's going to change this same time next week. It'll be in Taurus. Right now it's in Aries. The moon is in Sagittarius. It's a 4 universal month, a 6 universal week, an 11 universal day. So those who happen to be under the signs of Leo and Aquarius or Cancer today, or if you're born on a date that's the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month, or obviously this is your day. I thought I would do something different. When I'm taking the comments and people give me their birthdays, I'm always telling them what their important numbers are, their lucky days and dates and months and stuff like that. So I says, why don't we kind of turn it around? Well, what I want to do is, it's like people will always ask me so when I was on Oprah Winfrey Show on 3 occasions and other TV shows of that nature, people would always ask, what's my lucky number? What's my lucky number? But very few people ask me, what are my stress numbers? What are the numbers that work against me? Which is equally as important. So, for example, on my app, this is the one I did of the United States. If you notice, this country has 4 numbers, 4, 1, 2, and 7. But just as they have good numbers, they have stress numbers. And those numbers are the 6, 8, and 9. Now, what makes the difference is this. As each number rules a day, a date, a month, a year, an age, or a decade, so do the stress numbers as well. So when you get the birthdays, I'm going to be telling you, okay, you're this and that. But I'm going to also tell you what I rarely to tell people. These are the numbers that work against your interest, if you are aware. Before I start, I've got a comment that I'm going to put on. As I tell people, I've been on like 19 Keys show, a Brother Rich show, a couple of shows like that where they take donations. In fact, they solicit donations. I've never, if you've ever had my show, and it's going on 3 years, 4 years, I think, I've never solicited donations, not one time, okay? For my guests, I'll solicit that you support their Cash App, yes. But never have I asked anybody, and all you got to do is just go to my YouTube page, Numbers in You, and you'll see that I've never I think I've done about 400 episodes right now, a series. I've never once said, I want y'all to donate. I want y'all, I don't do that. So what happens is I've told people in the past that when I do this, there's some people that get into their feelings about, oh, I donated and you didn't read me. Well, that's for Brother Rich and that's for 19 Keys. That's their style. Mine isn't like that. I take it as I'm seeing it, and only toward the end I'll try to see. And some people will donate at the last minute, so I don't see until the next show. So what happens is I need to show you this to show you what I mean. And I thank them very much for this because now I have another technique. And this this is what was said to me this past Monday after the show. They donated a super chat to your live, and sir, you, sir, did not do a reading. I'm reporting for scamming and refund of my money. See, this is like, really, really? I got to be honest with you. I don't, well, y'all don't know me like that, but trust me, if I'm going to scam somebody, it ain't going to be for a couple of bucks. Trust me. I mean, if I'm going to go down with it, okay, it's going to be because LLoyd took about $1 million or something like that. So what I'm trying to say to you is, and by the way, I want to thank Anna too, who had said, it's absolutely not like that. That's not my style. And for those of you who know and support me each month on the Live with LLoyd family, you know that is not my style. Why am I going to, scammers don't come back on every day. I've been consistent every Monday, every Wednesday, with the exception of maybe Jazz Aphrodite sitting on me and for me on a Monday, then occasionally a Monday or Wednesday. But rarely do I be ducking and dodging. I don't live like that. I was not raised like that. So what I've done is this. I says, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So when I start reading, I'm going to do a calendar. The calendar is going to be like this. You see it at the bottom? At the bottom, it says, at the bottom, I says, you only make a donation if you've been read. Now, this is for the newbies. See, you make a donation of your choice only after, and I put it in the caps, only after you have been read on Live with LLoyd show, okay? So when I'm doing the readings, I say I'm going to have to put this on here so people get used to this so they don't think, oh, I'm trying to, believe me, whoever this person is, the last thing I want to do, my brother or sister, is to scam you. I don't roll like that, really. I wasn't raised like that, okay? So this is what I'm doing for the newbies who come on, and I assume you were new, because if you were, you would know that I've also told people that if you don't feel comfortable, for those of you who want to solicit or give a donation, as they call it, and I answer or don't answer, believe me, it's not deliberate. So for those of you who are super sensitive, like this comment that I got on this past Monday, only if you get the reading and you decide or wish you want to donate. Beautiful. With that said, now I'm going to go to it. So I'm going to keep this running at the bottom. So for the newbies, they don't get discouraged. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the top. And I do thank all of you very, very much. Okay. All right. And the correct site to order your U-Juice is levitstore.com, as you see right there. That's the website where you can order. All righty. Cheryl, good news, everyone. Good evening. Numerologics. Thank you very, very much. What I'm going to do when I take your birthday, I'm not giving you your lucky numbers. I'm going to give you the numbers that will challenge you. And here's the thing. I've got it to the point where I can tell you what ages you will likely challenge, what years you will likely challenge, as well as the months, the days, the years, and whatnot too. Just as we have our good periods, we have our challenging periods too. And as I said, the sun doesn't come out every day. So I'll give you an example right here. This is Anthony Lee. This is the first birthday to come up on screen. So normally I'll say, well, you're you're fire sign with an air number, which you're a Leo 5 person. And I'll say your numbers are the 5, 1, and 4, and Wednesdays and Mondays are your best, Sundays and Mondays are your best days, right? So My whole thing is just kind of also show you what numbers to be aware of, what days and dates, years and months, even ages. So this is why I'm having an open session on Sunday that I want people to attend. So for you, Anthony, yes, your key numbers are the 5, the 1, and the 4. Your oppositional numbers, though, are the 3 and the 8 and the 6. Now, what does that mean? That means your main opposition day is a Thursday, your next opposition day is a Saturday, and your third opposition day is a Friday. So if you've ever wanted to know why some of your weekends have been kind of crazy or not like you thought, where everybody's having a good time, but you're being challenged, that would be it. It will also tell me, and you can even do ages. So I know that at ages, I'll say, since you're born in 71, I would say ages 21, okay, 24, 26, age 30, 33, 35. You know what I'm saying? 39, 42, 44. Why did I do that? Because all of those ages I mentioned adds up to their oppositional numbers. And so I hope he wasn't tested at 44, but if so, it wouldn't surprise me. Okay. Or at 48, because 4 plus 8 is 12 and 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. All of this I learned over the decades of doing this. And by the way, and in my book, my best-selling book, Numbers in You, all you got to do on page 160, yep, 162. I got personal years and changes. I list the years of important changes, the ages of important changes. And it will also tell me, for example, that I'll go to the 90s. So I know that you would have challenges in 1992, 1995, 1997, 2001, 2004, 2006, 2012. The reason why I'm saying that all those years add up to either a 3 or a 6 or an 8 with your opposition numbers, okay? So it's not to be confirm it, but I'm trying to tell you, just as we are concerned about what our lucky numbers are, you need to be aware. Why? So you can go through the minefield. I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why I developed this app to do just that. And so this is the United States with all their, whoops, let me get this off a second. So this is the United States with their, let me get this banner off too for a second. So this is the numbers that you see. The green is go, the red is slow or no. And then what happens is you get the calendar. And this is what the calendar looks like for this country. You will have your own individual green and red star days. So it tells me that if this country is having any challenges, it's been in the news anyway, but it's been in the news since the 6th, which is in direct opposition to the nation. And so things really in the news about the fiat currency and whatnot. So it's not me making it up. Anybody, so whether it's a business, whether it's an individual, whether it's your cousin, whether it's your mate, but particularly whether it's you. And it's not about being paranoid. That's the point. So when these red star, double, single, double, triple red star days come, it don't mean you hide under a rock. As I said, it's like, look at it like the weather. That like, okay, so the sun is not coming out today. So what are we going to do? All righty. So anyway, that's how it works. All righty. So you can go to star8.com or go to the Apple Store or Play Store and download my app, ASTAR, the number 8, and download it. Okay. Some Queen Spotter says he got the wrong numbers. Yeah, he did. I guess you start referring to this person. All righty. Quintanella, thank you very much. Quintella, I should say. Also, let me see with Shaneka. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. The birthday is October the 9th. Now, this person would be, as I would say normally, a air sign with a fire number, which means they're a Libra 9 person. Okay? But because of the show we're doing today, and by the way, let me put this banner up so people are seeing it for the first time, okay? So in this case, Shanika, her oppositional numbers are the 2, the 4, and those are primarily her opposition numbers, the 2 primarily and the 4. And what does it mean in this? It simply means that her stress days will always be on a Monday. So let's say I was one of those demonic numerologists and I'm spiteful and you're trying to really find out what's the best day to go on an appointment, which is Tuesday in your case and Friday in your case, followed by Thursday. Those are your 3 best days. I say, you need to go, sister, on a Monday, okay, or a Sunday. Why? Well, those happen to be your 2 most challenging days in the month. Just as we have our important and powerful and influential days, we also have our challenging days as well. Okay. And it says to me that not only are the 2 and the 4 oppositional numbers, but Mondays and Sundays are oppositional days. But then and so I can even say when you were age, what year you born? 87. So I could say when you were age 20, age 22, age 29, age, you know what I'm saying? Because those ages I just mentioned either added to a 2 or a 4. And yes, in those ages. So again, it's taken from my book, Important Ages and Changes, on page 163, 164 of the book. It would also tell me a year that was challenging for her was back in, I would say, 2024. Okay. No, excuse me, 2020, because that was the year of the 4. Then the year before that would have been 2000 or 2011 or 2009, because 2009 adds up to a 2, because 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 11 is 2. I'm not used to going backwards like this, but I'm trying to get to show you that yes, you got important numbers, but you also got numbers that will challenge you too. And I don't need any confirmation. Yeah, that was true. That yeah, so and so and so and so. I lost my job. I had an accident, or whatever the case is. I'm trying to get you to see that they're both sides of the equation. So it's nice to know your important, significant, or lucky numbers, but it's equally important to have your challenging numbers, which is how I came up with the whole concept of the app in the first place. And of all the features for me on my app, and I have several of them, the feature I like is this, where a person can see whether you're an individual, whether you're a business person, so you can plan with some strategic strategies. So like if a person, let's say, has to go in for elective surgery, well, I wouldn't have them go on a triple red star day. I'd have them go on green star days when it works best for them. I mean, you only have one go round in this line. So it's those kinds of things that I try to be very, very, very conscious of, okay? So anyway, this is interesting. People are interesting, and let's see something. Hold on, let me back up a bit. Oh, and DS, DS is very interesting because in his last text, the last comment, he says that for number 6, why is he always attracting 4s? The only way I can think of, D, is either your name adds up to a 4, your destiny number, which is the month, the day, and the year you're born, is a 4. And if your name is a 4, for example, this would put you kind of at odds with yourself, okay? Also, so sometimes I will tell persons if their name is out of alignment with their birthday, I let them know, and I suggest that you can make a change. The change is they don't have to change the name. So let's say his name is David, which I think is a 4 or 7. I know David is a 4 or a 7, that's for sure. And he's a 6. Well, if David is a 4, 4s and 6s, well, this is why you will be at odds with each other. But at the same time, because the name is what draw the people to you. All this I'll discuss on the open session on Sunday for those who's in attendance to show you how to do this and how to understand this. And I have an online course on sale that ends tonight for only $40. You get all 3 courses. I mean, that rarely happens, but you'll get all 3. I'll show you that tonight too. Okay. And that may explain it. So I just know it's DS. So I don't know whether it's David or Don or Daryl, Derek. you know. Anyway, hi, Sean West, one of my favorites. Okay. And let's see, get some birthdays up in here. Okay. Now, this is Eshe Lewis, right? Really appreciate it reading. Okay. First of all, your borderline case, which has nothing to do with medical kind of case. Borderline case that anybody born on the 20th of the month, the 21st, the 22nd in astrology, this is known as the cusping period, which means signs are about to change. So in your case, you may be having a foot in the sign of Capricorn and another foot going into the sign of Aquarius, okay? And so what happens is that, and this is why an astrologer need to know, where were you born? What time you were born? And it's so interesting, you're born on the 20th and you're born on the year of the 20, because 1991 adds the 20. So it tells me more than likely that one of your parents could have either been a Cancer or Taurus or born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, because even the year that you're born gives a clue as to the zodiac sign or potential date of birth of one of the parents. I mean, this stuff is fascinating. That's why I'm never bored. This is why I get excited, you know? I mean, somebody got to get excited about things. But the point is that your major opposition numbers, young lady, would be the 9, 6, and 8. Now, if you're a Capricorn, I'll put it like this. If you're a Capricorn, your key numbers would be the 2, the 7, and the 8. If you're an Aquarius, your numbers, because Kalia Washington, our famous astrologer that's been a guest on the show numerous times, she's born on January the 20th. So her key numbers are the 2, 7, 4, and 1, because she's on the Aquarius side of the occasion. So if you believe you are a Capricorn, your stress numbers are the 9, the 8, and the 5. That's what I would see. If you feel you are an Aquarius, your stress numbers will be the 9 still, the 8, and the 6. Okay? What does that mean? That regardless whether you're a Capricorn or an Aquarius, Tuesday is always your oppositional day because each number rules a day in the week. So, and then it rules a month. So the months that give you problems is April, which is now, November also, and also in January if you're an Aquarius, or February if you're a Capricorn. I know it sounds confusing, but it took me years to figure this out, to simplify it, to help people understand themselves, which is why I suggest you download the Star 8 app. That way you'll know for sure, okay? But anyway, this is a fun year for you, and it tells me you're a gentle spirit, very, very particular, finicky about your eating habits, dietary laws. And then when I looked at it, your month, day, and year says you're in the 5th grade in the school of life, your destiny, life path, birth path numbers, they call it. So it means your stress periods would be the 3 and the 8 along that destiny number. So based upon that, for example, I would say that the period of, let's say, 2016 was challenging. Why? Because that's the year that adds up to a 9. All righty. And then I could say the year before that, if it's 2020, hold it, it says 2016, so it's 2017. It's 26. Yeah, that would, no, 2017 adds up to a 1. So the point is that, well, if I move forward, it's easy to say that in this case, well, you're born in, so you're about 30 something. So I'll go with the period of 2022. No, excuse me. Yes, 2022, that's a 6. That's on the Aquarius side. But the point is, these years that add up to your stress numbers, and it tells me your stress age would have also been when you were, for example, in this case, 13 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, 22, 26, 27. All these ages add up to those oppositional numbers. So this is why we'll have some good years. They say, yeah, I remember that year. I graduated, I got married, I had children, got my car, something significant. And then there are years that will present some dramas. And this is the point of what I'm trying to tell you too, okay? Okay, let's see. Kim Johnson got a birthday coming up very, very soon. So Kim is a Taurus 5 person. So technically their numbers are the 5, 6, and 9, but their stress numbers more than anything else is the 3 and the 4. So what does that mean? That means that Thursdays and Sundays are the more challenging days for persons born on this day, or anybody born on the 5th, or Cinco de Mayo, as they call it, okay? And it tells me that not only that, but see, once I know the challenging numbers, I know that the months of February, March, August, and December are normally the challenging months to this person. Setbacks, accident, a transition of a good friend or family member, a loss of a job, something that, yeah, I remember that month. So a person will tell me, a mother will tell me when she gave birth in a period that's in opposition, I could say, well, yes, you gave birth, but not without some challenges, as if all births are easy. They're not. They're a little bit more complicated bringing life into the world place or so. But that's it. But your key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. But your major numbers, major stress numbers are the 3 and the 8. Thus, Thursday and Sunday are your stress days, okay? I'm so used to doing it always in the positive, because every time I do a show, everybody always asks me they lucky numbers, but they never say, Stray, what numbers stress the brother or the sister? So I figured, let me change up the script. Okay, here we go. Okay, we just did her, okay? Thank you. Okay. I was like, girl, bye. Okay, I remember reading that comment as well. All right. And it's not bad. And thanks, Anthony Lee. Y'all know I'm not a scammer. Listen, if I'm going to scam, it ain't for a couple of bucks. Trust me. Can you see me going to jail for like, yo, man, he tried to rip somebody off for like $20, $10. No. Seriously? No. And, but for people, but I could tell that this person was not aware, that they obviously knew. And so, as even Sean West, as anybody that's familiar with watching the show, definitely know, do not scam people. And how am I going to scam people? I'd have to have a heck of a nerve, to be scamming somebody coming back on every Monday, every Wednesday. And boy, people put me on blast. Every comment I make will be like, so anyway, so I don't fault this person. I just wanted to share, and it wasn't put that person on blast. But at first, I got a little kind of offended at first. I says, no, they just don't, they must be new. They don't understand. But what it's telling me is to add that ticker running at the bottom. So for new people who are doing this, I test you make a donation of your choice only after you've heard your reading or you've been read on the show. Okay. So that makes it this way. All right. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and by the way, if you got any questions, okay. Now, here's DS. He's born, I told you he was born on the 6th. I forgot the year, but no, November the 6th, okay? So he's water and earth, which is a great combination. But the oppositional numbers to him would be the 4 and the 2. So that means not only Sunday primarily, but Monday as well. So I would tell him always leave Sunday and Monday as his light days. Save those unless there are exceptions to the rule. And here's what I mean. The date will always overpower the day. The day will always overpower the week and the month. What do I mean? I says, okay, Sunday's not one of your best days, DS, okay? He says, but man, I had a great Sunday. It was probably Sunday the 6th, Sunday the 15th, or Sunday the 24th. I've had people tell me they were in a car accident and the car was total, but they still walked away. But, they'll say, well, you said it was a good day. The fact that you got out in one piece is a blessing. Sometimes we don't know when we got our blessings going for us, okay? And so this is what I'm saying. So I'll say that Monday also is your stress day because it's ruled by the number 2. And so he'll say, well, I had a great interview on Monday. I got the job on a Monday. Well, it may have been Monday the 6th, Monday the 15th, Monday the 24th, or Monday the 9th, because his numbers are the 6, the 9, and the 3. So just because this is how I developed the app, it's for this purpose. So every one of these stress days is not, especially if that data is rolling around to offset it. I hope I'm not confusing you. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you how I got into this. Okay. Okay, they're excited. Sincerely, Noah, how you doing? Uh, they are a air sign with a fire number. This is a great combination to have. They're a Gemini 9 person. Their numbers technically are the 9, 5, and 6, right? However, the opposition numbers to this particular person would be the 2 and the 8 and the 3. What does that mean? Well, that means that of all the days, Monday is the most challenging day, followed by Saturday, followed by Thursday. Why? Because 2 rules Monday, 3 rules Thursday, and 8 rules Saturday. And therefore, I would not suggest, unless there's an interview, they have to go on. Monday is the worst out of all 7, in this case, sincerely, Noah, okay? Unless it is Monday the 9th, Monday the 18th, Monday the 27th. This is how I came up with the whole concept of the calendar that I was showing you in my Star 8 app, okay? And so, but this year, this is a very good year for you because your numbers, again, are the 9, 5, and 6. And this is the year of the 9, and you're a 9, and you happen to be in a 6-person year that deals with relationship, home, family, adjustment, education, going back to school, losing a pound or two, changing your hair. All these things are within your purview. But at the same time, it is equally important to know that to avoid the days, if you must, for interviews, taking tests, signing deals, launching a business, that therefore Monday and Thursday and Saturday are not your best days to do it, unless it is a date that overpowers it, because the date will always overpower the day. It took me a long time to figure this out, but I think I got it, okay? Oops, nope, let me go here. This Cheryl Herb, she is October the 8th, okay? Your stress numbers, my dear, are the 4 and the 5, because your key numbers are the 8, 6, and 3. So I already know that. So what are the opposition numbers to the 4? I mean, the 8 is the 4 and the 5. Those would be, so what does that mean? That means your stress days will always be on a Sunday first because it rules the number 4, and a Wednesday second because it rules the number 5. Therefore, I would not tell you to go on an interview on a Sunday or Wednesday if you can help it. But you make that arrangement on a Saturday or Thursday or Friday, because these, see, you got to understand, each number rules a day. So I wish, hold up, really, seriously, I'm I rarely try to plug myself, but you'll need to be here if possible. Oops, let me do this too. You'll need to be here if possible, open session where I can really, really get into it, explaining the good numbers, the not so good numbers, and things of that nature, because this is very, very important that you understand these things to see what is going on. And then this way I'm not rushed, because I know I've got a lot of comments and I've got very little time. So I try to do it, but I'm trying to explain also so people can understand as I go along that yes, we all got good numbers, but just as we got good numbers, we got good numbers on the other side that can be as challenging as well. It's like when you go to a doctor, they'll look at that blood pressure. If those numbers are right, you're good. If those numbers are too low or especially too high, they tell you to act accordingly and thus will give you whatever the case may be. So that's all I'm saying, folks. Okay. So let me see something here. Let me back up just a bit. Okay. This is Yamil. I hope I'm saying it correctly. You are a Cancer 8 person, earth and water. So I like that. It's actually water first, then earth. You're a water sign with an earth number, right? So your key numbers are the 8, 2, and 7. So what does that mean? That means your challenging numbers would always be the 5, the 4, and the 9. Actually, it's the 4 first, the 5, then the 9. These would be the challenging numbers. So therefore, since 4 rules Sunday, I wouldn't have you do anything significant on a Sunday. Then 5 rules Wednesday, okay? And then 3 rules Thursday. So knowing that, I know that your stress days would always be on a Sunday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. And therefore, those would be the days I would avoid unless It is a Sunday the 8th, Sunday the 17th, Sunday the 26th, or Wednesday the 6th, Wednesday the 15th, Wednesday the 24th, where the date will overpower the day. That's why I designed the calendar to be as it is. That's why when a person gives me their birthday, I can tell them what's a two-star day, three-star day, things of that nature, just like that. So today, for example, today is a perfect day because today is Wednesday. So it would be a kind of a challenging day. And today is also the 16th, which is a neutral number. So it might be a neutral star day for her. But like tomorrow's going to be an interesting day because tomorrow's going to be the 17th. 1 + 7 is 8, but it's going to be falling on a stressed day. So although that's a stressed day, she will have a green star on that day because the date offsets the day. It took me years to figure this out. And like anything, it takes a long time. It's very simple once you unravel and create the formula. This is what I do. And I put a lot of work into this too. And because my name and reputation, I've been doing this for many years, and I really pride myself in what I do. I think I read Anthony Lee, your birthday was on August 5th. I did do that. I think you put your name a little bit before then. But again, your stress numbers are the 3, the 8, and the 6. Okay, good. All righty. Okay, now this is V right. Okay, and I wonder if this is the V right that I know. But at any rate, here's the point. This person is a fire sign, an air sign with a fire number. Technically, their numbers are the 9, 4, and 1. In the reverse, the stress numbers will be the 2 primarily, followed by the 8 and the 4. Excuse me, I stand corrected. It would be the 2, the 8, and the 6. That would be the stress numbers because their numbers are the 9, 4, and 1. So it can't be 4 as a stress number. And so the first number I come out is in direct opposition to the number 9, which is a 2, which means of all the days that I would avoid for her, it's always on a Monday. Unless it's Monday the 9th, Monday the 18th, see? Or Monday the 27th. So this is why you got to look at your calendar. It's totally different. This is why I designed the calendar on the app so you can make intelligent judges and know when to move. That's the point, to know exactly when to move, when you got to move, and when you need to slow your roll, okay? Keep your eyes alert and things of that nature. So what I can tell her was the years that were very challenging to her was at age 20, 22, 26, 29, 31, 35, 38. And all these ages I mentioned either added up to a 2 or a 6 or an 8. Okay. So when I say 2022, that's a 6. So I know that was a challenging period for her. Okay. That was just 3 years ago. Okay. And last year too may not have been a walk in the park because it was the year of the 8, which is one of her challenging numbers. But this year though, she's a 9, and this is the year of the 9. So I know this significant year. Yet your personal year is challenging because you're in a 2 cycle or stress. You're in a 2 personal year. Let me see something here. Where is my? Let me see. You might be in an 11 personal year, which is a whole different ball game. So let me do something right quick. So that's 2, 18, 20, 25. Okay, that's 15. You happen to be in an 11 personal year, so you lucky, okay? You're not in a 2. And how I did it was this way. So you'll see, okay? I said 2, 18, 20, 25. I'm not trying to give a lesson. I'm just trying to show you how see, all this is in my head. The beauty of it is you can put it on paper so the person can see it. 15, 4, 0, 2, that equals 11. See? So this person is in an 11 personal year. So it's totally different, V. You ain't in just a 2. In 11, it means you approach this year with a higher consciousness. Not only that, being in the master number 11 year governs Leos and Aquarius, which happens to be you. So there's going to be a very important year. There's going to be a transitory type of year with residents, relationships, the workplace, and things of that nature, but at a much higher level. But nonetheless, your main opposition numbers are the 2, the 6, and the 8. Okay. So anyway, that means Monday, be careful. Monday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, those are stress. All right. Okay. Yeah, I agree. They said whoever wrote that comment knew I'm not a scammer. They just want a reaction. They did. They caused me to kind of put up a banner so it can't be said, folks, that, if you want to donate, okay, you just read first, okay? Got to read the fine print. All right. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, this person is April the 7th. This is Aries. I've no birthday. Okay, her opposition numbers are the 8 primarily, and yet, see, here's her key. Technically, her numbers are the 7, 2, and 9. Now, 7s and 9s get along very well. It's that 7, it's that 9 and 2 that don't get along. So 9 would be one of the challenging numbers to her, followed by the 8. So I would say 9 and 8 would be your challenging numbers, which means your Tuesdays and your Saturdays would be more your challenging days, where your best days would be on Mondays and Fridays. Okay, that's what I would say. Okay, those would be your stress days, the 9 and the 8. So it tells me when you were 17, 18, then 17, 18, 26, 27. Then from there, 26, 27, then that would be 30, 26, 27. So that would be 35, 36. Okay. That's when that would be. Okay, for you. Alrighty. Again, I'm so used to thinking in a forward motion. But when I'm a consultant, I'm doing this the same. Okay. Thanks, CC. She's funny. She says, who's stressing Baba Lloyd like that? They don't mean to stress you. They just didn't know. That is my assumption. They just didn't know. And why would I want to why would I want to scam somebody? They did better off saying, I didn't get a reading. Because what I'll do when I see somebody who comments or make a donation, I'll try to carry it over into the next show. So let's say somebody make a donation, right? Then I'll write it down. I'll put it in my little moon book where I can find it. And I'll say on Wednesday, this person, I'll thank them for the donation, give them a reading. But never in my wildest dreams would I do that. That is kind of not my style. That is not how I roll. Okay. But don't worry about it. It doesn't bother me. I know you said people just don't know, CC. That's all. And I just chalk it up to that. Okay. This person, Sharon Austin, is a Libra 1 person. Their numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. So 6 and 8 are your challenging numbers. 6s and 8s. What does that mean? That means Fridays and Saturdays, where your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. Those would be your better days to carry out your plans. It also means that your challenging months would also be in January, May, and October, just right after your birthday month. That's why some late September and October is good months. And then there's some late months in the September where you say, I can't believe this is my birthday period because this is crazy what's going on here. And in fact, this year is your year to step out on faith, to do things on your own, to have a new direction, a new mindset, because you're in a one personal year. Okay. But those are your numbers. And it also indicates you might wear glasses because your left eye is a little bit more sensitive than your right eye. Okay. This is Beba, August 18th. I think I read a birthday like this. Just quickly, the stress numbers are the 2, the 6, and the 8, which means Monday and Fridays and Saturdays are your stress days. Okay. Fox Sinatra. Good evening, Fox. This is the same. Well, this is Maurice Bishop of the Caribbean that was assassinated. Ironically, John F. Kennedy was born on this day, also assassinated. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, you are a Gemini 2 person. So your key numbers, see, are the 2, the 7, and the 5, which means your stress numbers on the opposite side of that equation is the 9, the 8, and the 3. Now, what does that mean? Tuesday's your most challenging days. Next is by Wednesday. No, excuse me, because Wednesday's one of your good days. So it's the 9, Tuesday, the 3, Thursday, and the 8, Saturday. So it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are your stress days. Those are the days that you take it easy. Unless it's the Tuesday the 2nd, Tuesday the 11th, Tuesday the 7th, because your numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. Unless your dates fall on those stress days, it offsets it, where it's not as bad. You say, well, the day was a little challenging, but I overcame it with no problems. That's why some days are, and just reverse. Like your best days are Monday, but it could have been Monday the 9th, Monday the 18th, Monday the 27th. You said, man, Lloyd Strayhorn said Monday was my best day, but I almost got fired today, okay? Well, was it on Monday the 9th, Monday the 8th, or Monday the 3rd? Because those are your opposition numbers. So this is how you look at things like that, okay? Anyway, and then you're in a 7 personal year. So this is a very spiritual, soul-searching year for you that I see, okay? This person is born October 2nd, Booyah B, and their numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, which means simply Tuesday. Well, the numbers numerically is the 9 and the 6. Those are your, no, excuse me, the 9 and the 4. Excuse me, the 9 and the 4. Your key numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Your direct opposition numbers is the 9 and the 4. And so therefore, Tuesday, which is ruled by the 9, and Sunday, which is ruled by the number 4, would be your stressful dates, unless it's Tuesday the 2nd, or the 6th, or the 7th, or Sunday the 2nd, the 6th, or the 7th. That's the only exception where you say, okay, this is supposed to be my stress day, but I'm doing pretty good. If you look at the date, it overrules the day. And I say this for emphasis so you can get this, okay? So anyway, let me look at my time here, and let me scan just in case. So in case anybody makes, okay. This is 721. Their opposition numbers are the 4 and the 5. That would be correct. Does these numbers show why I don't want to be confined in a classroom? Well, you know what's interesting? 3 rules children. Okay, so that may be it. 3 rules not only children, it rules pets and animals, it rules communications, it rules entertainment, it rules the artists, the creators, the people with great imagination, those that are very ambitious, and technically, see, you're a borderline case because there's some July 21st that's a Leo and some July 21st that's a Cancer. So let's see. So you did not say exactly what sign, but when you say a 4 or 5, I would say you would be more of a Cancer. That is, you might think you're a Cancer because a Leo, your numbers would be the 3, the 4, and the 1, which means your opposition numbers would be the 5 and the 4. I mean, the 3 and, the 5 and the 4. No, the 5 and the 6. Okay, I stand corrected. Anyway, but whatever it is, I tell you this, you're in a year of new beginnings, new directions, new opportunities, and a year to step out on faith if you need to change. This is when people change careers. They leave a job and start something new. They, as I say, step out on faith, which means they kind of think of ways to start their own business. And if it's a Leo, that's a very ambitious sign. If it's a 3, that's a very ambitious number. So if you're on the Leo 3 side of the equation of July 21st, I know you got a lot of spark and ambition, a lot of get up and go, want to do something. Okay. And you'd have to download my app to see what it says for you. But I would say it's the 5 and if it's Cancer, it's a 5 and a 9. Okay. If it's a Leo, I'd say it's a 5 and a 6. So it all depends on which sign you are. And see, this is why when it gets around the 20th, 21st, the 20th, 21st, 22nd. I gotta kind of like, all right. Okay, all right, let's see what we got here. Okay, this strawberry, they are a Capricorn 7 person. So they're earth sign with a water number, which means 7, 2, and 8 of the numbers, but the stress numbers are always the 4 and the 5. Those will be the stress numbers, which means Sunday and Wednesdays are the stress days. It means that the months of February and June and August and September will be more challenging. Separations, loss of job, setbacks, something that's challenging. Okay. And Queen Sparta said, I meant the guy that was complaining about got the wrong number as he had the wrong idea. Sorry for the confusion. No problem at all. Okay. This is Sabano Burrito. How you doing, my brother? It tells me, first of all, you got a good opinion of yourself. All right. You think you all of that in a bag of chips. If you're born in that day, you're just 20, 19, something like that. Well, here's the point. Your numbers are the 9, 6, and 3. Once I know this, it's just reversing the process. The major number opposition to the number 9 is the 2. That's Monday. So I would never have you go to an appointment on Monday unless it's the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th. Then the next opposition number will be the number 4, which is Sunday. I would never have you do anything on a Sunday unless it's Sunday the 9th, Sunday the 18th, or Sunday the 27th. That's why you should download the app, the Star 8, ASTAR, the number 8, or go to star8.com and download it so you can see for yourself what your numbers are. Okay. So Donzette Sutherland, what I'm going to do is I won't have the time to do your name. I'm going to do it on Monday. Okay, Ziett. Donzette. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I will make sure that I will analyze your name. Hold on. 7154. That's interesting. You got 4 4s. You got 3 4s in your name, which is interesting. So that's 10. I'll add all this up. I'm going down the home stretch, but I'll Sunday tune in on Monday. But I see right away you got 3 4s in your name, and so that would make for an interesting thing too. 1 4 is average in the name, and a first and last name. You got 3 4s just in your last name. Not only that, you have a total of 5 4s running through your name, my friend. You do. D's and T's are 4s. So if you hold up. Excuse me, folks, so you can see. In the Chaldean system, D's and T's are 4. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 4 is average in the first and last name. So you got 5 times the amount. So this may explain why, to some degree, you will attract a 4. So you're going to have to question yourself and say, okay, when I do attract these 4s, is it cool? Is it not cool? Is it drama? Everything goes all right, but I can understand. But it tells me with all these 4s, so you're a genius. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. You're a genius in your own particular way. It's just how you express your uniqueness, your genius. Okay. And it's so sad that we don't refer to each other as geniuses, but if you look at the things we've invented in the past to the present, nothing but geniuses run through our communities. Nothing but geniuses. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at this on Monday. This is good. I'm going to say Sunte, Sunderland. Okay. All right. Good. And when I do the name, I don't include Junior. I do it as the only time Junior is included in the name is for passports, driver's license, Social Security. But basically, it's a first and last name. Okay. Not unless you are like Sammy Davis Jr., the famous entertainer, because his father was Sammy Davis, and his father was also in entertainment. So and he was born December the 8th, by the way. But if so, it will tell you why he made that distinction. Okay. Okay. Now, Booyah says, what is the name of the app? Okay, this is the app. Let me do this for you. This is the name of the app, a star 8, ASTAR, the number 8. Okay, that is the app. You can download it. Let me see something. You can either download it on your Android platform or you can download it on your Apple platform. Okay, and it's star 8, ASTAR, the number 8. Okay, it is a freemium, as they call it, which means a lot of it is no charge. But I had to charge some because I had to invest a lot to do this. You know, it ain't no 1, 2, 3. Those of you who develop apps, not unless you're into the technology where you do your own. I understand AI now do that. But when I started, I don't think AI was on the scene like it is now. Everything is AI. You can do almost everything. But I wasn't in the AI moment at the time. So I had to go the old-fashioned way. But I think it was worth it, though. Okay. Anyway, let me get back to this because I've got a couple of minutes. Let me kind of work backwards here. Okay. This person, Philly Cat, says they've been stressed out of character for me. I want to move in. I'm not sure if I should. They are born on March the 6th. Okay. Well, Philly Cat, let me say this. All of us at some point are going to be out of character. You know what I'm saying? We just going to be out of a funk. First of all, this is a full universal month for April. How did I arrive at that? I took the year 2025, I added it to the 4th calendar month, that added the 13, and 1 plus 3 is 4. So the persons who are likely to be challenged in this April of this year only would be Tauruses, Libras, or anybody born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th. So if yes, over the last several weeks of late March into this month of April, you have been a little under the weather, as they say, and this too shall pass. Okay. Next month, it'll be a 5 universal month, and May has ruled the period of the 6, so it'll be very good for you. But your stress numbers are always the 4, which is right now in a 4 universal month, and followed by the 5. So the 4 and the 5 are your stress numbers, which means Sundays and Wednesdays are not your best days. So if like today, Wednesday, you're not feeling nobody or whatever the case is, that may explain it too. Okay. She says the app says my unfavorable numbers are the 8 and the 4. Well, the 8 is, I think I just said the 8, and the 9 would be a 2, but there will be exceptions to the rules. What I did was I did this on a general basis, and people said my Cash App. Okay, my my Cash App is $numbers in you. It's named right after my book. $numbers in you. That's what it is. Okay. Just put the $numbers in you. And thank you if you do want to make a donation. So I've got about a minute. So let me just back up a second to see if anybody made a donation. So I want to make sure. There we go. Trinae Indigo, thank you so much for that. I don't think you gave your birthday, in fact. I don't see it here yet. Okay. But thanks so much for the donation. Let me back up a second here, see if anybody else. So, wow. She says her husband's father has my autograph book. That means if she's got my autograph book, that was way back in the day, because I published the book 45 years ago. It changes. It didn't look like this 45 years ago. And in fact, I think on Monday, I'll show you the transition that this book has gone through. All the stages when it first came out in 1980, then 1987, 1997, up until the present. Okay. A very interesting evolution of how this book started. Thank you very much for that. Let me go back to, let me see. Okay. Yes, and my book is available on Amazon. Yes, it is. Barnes and Nobles. But go to my website too. Linktree /numbers in you. Linktree is spelled LINKTR.ee/numbers in you. That's where you see my services and everything. And they say you have an old copy as well. And where do you purchase a book? You can purchase a book on Amazon. Amazon have, out of the 6 books I published, Amazon has 4 of them. They're in different color codes. This one is Numbers in You, a numerology guide for everyday living, Numbers in You workbook, a Numbers in You relationship guide, a cosmic blueprint to happiness and joy, and then LLoyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century and beyond. Those are my books, and if you get them, thank you so much for that. Okay. Let me see something here. There was one person I saw that I want to give props to. Now, this is July 18th. Okay. They're born at 6:20 a.m., which means your sun is sitting in the 12th house, the house of Pisces. Okay. So your numbers are 9, 6, and 3, and your oppositional numbers will be the 2 and the 8, which means Monday and Saturday would be your challenging numbers in your challenging days. Okay. And I think that's about it. Wow. Philly Cat says, thank you. Trump fired the people approving my pay and program budget. Let me say this, Wood. It's, there's this saying, and I know people hear, well, when one door closes, another door opens. It might really wind up being a blessing in disguise. I think you're February the 18th. I think I got so many birthdays in my head. No, sorry, March the 6th. You March the 6th, okay? So here's what you do. So your numbers are the 6, 3, and 9. So therefore, your target days to look for work is on a Friday, followed by a Thursday, followed by a Tuesday. These are your days to look, okay? And especially if they're aligned, like I think Friday is going to be the 18th, which is a 9, if I'm not mistaken. Where's my moon book? If I'm not mistaken, and that's going to be a double star day for you. Yep. So it's on a Friday and it's 18th. So 1 + 8 is 9. That's your number. Friday is one of your days. So you look, but sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Because, for example, you would do well in the arts. You would do well in real estate or banking. You would do well in the service industry as a consultant or things like that. It's interesting. They'll pay you more as a consultant than they would as working the 9 to 5 every day too. Okay. So, yeah. So, and listen, it's out when you say it's out of character for you. Well, based upon being terminated, I think it would be out of a character for a lot of people this day. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get off this phone. Well, not this phone, but on the program. It's ending. Listen, I have so many of you. Can you please do me a favor? Can you join me on Sunday? I know it's Easter Sunday, but it's at 7 in the evening, okay? You can join me on Sunday from 7 to whatever, okay? First of all, I ain't letting a whole lot of people up in the joint in the first place, okay? But for those, just click on the QR code that's at the bottom right and sign up for the session. And then this way I can answer all your questions in depth, in detail, without having to see how many people are on the line. This is very, very important. You will have my undivided attention. As I'm demonstrating, it'll be a learning process for you too. You can also ask about your loved ones, a relative, a mate, a child, whatever the case is. So you'll have that kind of access to do that, all righty? In the meantime, let me go back to my sponsors and let you know that this show has been brought to you by UJuice. And go to their website. It's www.levitt, LIVETSTORE.com. I'll say it again, Levitt, because he's Dr. Levitt. It's not doctor, but it's www.levitt, LIVET Levitt, LIVETSTORE.com. Thank you very much. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396. They're having a very big health event coming up this particular Saturday, okay, or Friday. No, Saturday on the 19th. Click on the QR code. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. at 1396 Fulton Street. And listen, anytime Nicholas Brooklyn gets something, they show out. That's how they roll. They don't half step or whatever, but exploring the ethogens and adaptogens and the energetic healing, the energetics of healing. So it's really about health, people's herbalists too. So it's very organic. So please make sure you attend. And then the following week on that, the 27th, that Sunday, you will see Sister Kapunya, one of my favorites. Hank Rosin's son, one of my best, Nia Love. I don't know her that well, like I know King Simon, of course. Also, Miss Kimberly with Manifest on Purpose. Her website is kimberly.com, KIMBALEY.com, especially for those of you who are into business. So she's looking at it as a business. As I said, if JP Morgan, the famous financier, says that if numerology does it, astrology at the time don't make millionaires and make billionaires, well, she is doing what he assumes. So for those of you who are into business and want to take a look at it from an astro numerical point of view, this is the place to go by Ms. Kimberly. And of course, Queen Bee, one of my favorites, which is on numeralytics.biz. And she is offering up until Sunday, Easter Sunday, okay, a 20% discount. And it'll get your astronumeric description, individual frequencies, personal year codes, key days, dates, periods, life path, balance, and action recommendation. And she's telling you up front she is using the Chaldean system, okay? And in the subject, just put LWL, as you see it at the bottom left. So when you go there to get the 20% discount, you put LWL, the family. Also, her merch, as they call it nowadays, that will expire also on the 20th, this Sunday. And you just go to LWL FAM 20, LWL FAM, FAM 20 to get the discount. And of course, last but not least, Jazz Aphrodite, her book, Knocking from the Inside, please purchase. They're very limited books. Let me tell you, you will have a collector's item on your hand. You need to get this book. When it first came out, it's in hardcover, softcover edition. I love books. That's obvious to anybody who's ever come to my home. And so I bought both. Okay, I wasn't joking with this. And so I do want to thank all of you. And by the way, please sign up for my app. More importantly, though, join me Sunday if you can. I'll answer all your questions. Just click on the QR code. You can join me then. Also, 2 days later, I'm going to be starting my palmistry course just for beginners to teach you the power of the hand. It is still the 16th. So the newsletter of April is out. It is absolutely free where you can read it. If you don't want to read it, you can hear it online. Just go to YouTube and type in April 2025 astronumerology forecast by zodiac signs, where I go into all the details. It's totally different. Again, for those of you Android users, this is the site you go. It's a *8. For those Apple users, this is where you go also. And I guess that's it. I do want to thank you all very, very much. And so for those of you, I look forward to seeing you Sunday. And everybody, for Easter Sunday, bless you all. I know it's Good Friday. Friday is Good Friday, as they call it. And so everybody, you have a nice day. Please take care of yourself. Because as I said, if you don't, the question is who will? Bye.